All right, so here, this is an historic moment. Queen Elizabeth II is showing President Trump and the First Lady all around Buckingham Palace. This is a room filled with artifacts. It's known as the Royal Gift Collection. They are taking a look at this. This is part of his official UK state visit. Again, only the third American president that Queen Elizabeth has had for an official state visit. Let's listen in for a moment. All right, so we can't really hear what the president is saying, but you have the Queen there showing him, again, these are the Royal Gift Collection, some from America to the UK on this visit. Max Foster is with me as well. Max, talk to us a little bit about the significance of this and what we're seeing.
Well, I think there's a couple of things confused here. They've just exchanged gifts, so that's one thing. I don't know what the president's side has given, but certainly the Queen, I can tell you that she's given a book, a Churchill book, to President Trump. It's the Second World War by Winston Churchill, a bridged version, first edition. So he's a big fan of Churchill, and Churchill was actually the Queen's first Prime Minister, would you believe, all those years ago when she was just in her 20s. Separately, they are viewing artifacts from the Royal Collection which refer to the United States. So each of the little sections you'll see there has been broken down into different topics. So you've got the tale of two Georges, George III and George Washington, and he'll be shown the Declaration of Independence that comes out of the British Archive, and some engraved portraits as well of George Washington, for example. Another section will be about Scottish links. Obviously, he is of Scottish ancestry. He's very, very proud of that, which is why he thinks the UK, the British public, have a better connection with him than previous presidents. He'll be seeing a bolt of Harris tweed, which is obviously typically Scottish, and there'll be other sections as well. Side tables, I'm told, is one section, a gift from President Trump following tea at Windsor, which was last year. So all the key elements of the Royal Collection, which refer to the United States, all about emphasizing the close links between the two countries.
It is, and it's just so interesting, Max, I think, to watch this again. You just noted the Queen has given President Trump an abridged first edition of the Second World War by Winston Churchill, described by the Buckingham Palace press office as crimson with gold tool decoration, an outer cover spine and an inner cover, etc. I mean, this is all pomp and circumstance. This is a significant official UK state visit for this president. But at the same time, this comes amid jabs, sparring between the Mayor of London and President Trump. Let's get to that in a moment, but let's try to listen. I think we can hear a bit, Max.
Because each one was how tarted, please, sir. And this is a Harris tweed from the other two. And Edward VIII and playing golf. I think +4's of that answer.
Right down there. You take the time to get it. It will show you.
splendid set. Yes.
Okay, Max Foster joins me again as we watch these pictures. It just such a stark contrast, Max, between the protests on the streets of London, the jabs between President Trump and the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, and then these images of this official state visit to the UK.
It really is. I mean, the table they're looking at now, for example, I saw them leaning into the image. It's a well-known image, a photograph of King George VI arriving at the US Capitol building. He was leaning over there, this 5-volume specially bound set of Roosevelt speeches presented to King George VI. These are key artifacts in the British collection, but obviously very close to the president's heart as well, United States heart as well. So it really is about trying to find the common links. And this is what the Queen is there for. You know, she won't be too concerned about the political shenanigans here in the United Kingdom. It's pretty clear British politics is broken right now. This is when she needs to step up and represent the country, show continuity, represent the United Kingdom and place it within history and not caught up in the here and now and managing and avoiding letting current problems and tensions play into the wider narrative between the two countries. He's also looking up there to this very famous, arguably the finest art collection in the world, which belongs to the Queen, hanging there in the picture gallery in Buckingham Palace. It's a hugely sort of impressive room. I'm sure Donald Trump is very impressed by it as well. You can see Ivanka Trump following behind as well, being given the same commentary as well. It's interesting. Obviously, she's a senior advisor, but also she's part of the family, and it's interesting that Donald Trump has involved his family so keenly in this visit as well.
Yes, you see Prince Charles and Camilla there as well. We're learning a little bit more about the gift exchanges. In addition to that book by Winston Churchill, the president was also given this 3-piece pen set made exclusively for the Queen. The First Lady, Melania Trump, was given, we're told, a specially commissioned silver box. This is typical, right, Max, customary for the Queen to present these gifts to heads of state as they visit. What is atypical, I suppose, is a U.S. head of state coming and commenting on the outgoing lame duck prime minister, sort of criticizing her handling of Brexit, and then commenting on Boris Johnson and some support there for Boris Johnson, who will be going for the job.
Yeah, he's described Boris Johnson as a friend, just as Nigel Farage. Also, Boris Johnson today launching his leadership campaign to take over Theresa May. He's well ahead of all of the other contenders currently in that race. He may well be the next Prime Minister when President Trump comes to visit. Theresa May is a lame duck. She doesn't even get a one-on-one meeting with President Trump this time round. There'll be other ministers in the room. So he justifiably, some could argue, is looking ahead to who will be the next leader of the United Kingdom. That will mainly be a discussion, I imagine, though, tomorrow when he spends time in Westminster, gets involved in these bilateral meetings. Also goes along to the Winston Churchill war rooms as well. Churchill, a running theme, as you can see, often is when we talk about Anglo-American relations. But there is this huge issue in British politics, and some question whether or not the president should be wading into that, getting involved in it at all. But somehow he's managed to separate the political protocol, which he's completely throwing out of the window here in the UK for a state visit, whilst retaining the royal protocols and remaining deferential to the Queen. I also think it's interesting, a little insight there, Poppy, to the Queen and her sort of handling of these affairs. She's the one guiding the president through these many artifacts in her own collection. She knows it all inside out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder how long the memories are there in the UK, because Boris Johnson, although the president has praised him at times, has not been sparing in his criticism of Donald Trump in the past, accusing him of stupefying ignorance regarding his positions on there being Muslim no-go zones in the UK. Well, hard to say whether President Trump is aware of that criticism, but where does Boris Johnson stand on Donald Trump today?
Well, you know, I think it's interesting. Donald Trump isn't particularly popular, all the polls show, here in the United Kingdom. How much does it help Boris Johnson for President Trump to be endorsing him? Not very much, I would argue.